This week, we're creating line art birthday florals and painting them in with digital watercolor. Happy Tuesday. My name is Tila, and today I'm sharing an easy way to get started with line art florals. Then we'll take things one step further by adding digital watercolor for a beautiful bouquet of birthday florals. We'll be using 5 brushes from my watercolor illustration brush set for this entire project. The first is the sketching pencil brush, which has a nice graphite texture that we'll use for our line art. Next, we'll be using the round liner brush for our lettering, which has a watercolor texture and reduced pressure variation. For all of our painting, we'll use the spot bleed brush, which has beautiful textured edges and built-in watercolor texture. We'll also use it as a smudge brush to blend colors, making everything even more unique. For final details, we'll use the round splatter brush, and to add a finishing touch to the entire piece, we'll add a watercolor paper texture using the medium tooth paper texture pattern brush. As always, the color palette is entirely free. Just tap on the link in the video description and you can download and install it. I'm going to start by creating a brand new canvas. I've listed my specs on screen, and let's begin. So we're actually going to start in Pinterest and grab a source photo that we can use as a base for our line art. This board is my flower reference photos board, and there are a lot of options you can choose from if you don't want to use the same bouquet as me. What I am looking for is a lot of variation in size. So this vase of flowers right here is the one I'm going to use, and I'm just going to pull a small section. And this section right here has a lot of nice size variation. Tall elements, short elements, wide and narrow elements. So the more variation, the better. And I can save this to my camera roll by hitting those 3 dots and then choosing download image. So this saves it to my camera roll, and I can now head back and bring it in. You're going to hit the little wrench icon, make sure you're in the add category, and hit insert a photo. Once you grab that photo, now we're going to scale it up and just identify the section that we're going to use. And I'm actually not going to paint too many flowers here, just enough to give the variety that I'm looking for. So in order to trace over this, it'll be a little easier for me to see the lines I'm drawing. If I reduce the opacity of that layer, I'm going to create a brand new layer right on top of it. I'm grabbing my sketching pencil brush. You could also use the round liner brush for your line art if you'd like. I'm grabbing the darkest color in our color palette, which is almost a navy blue, and the size of my brush is right around 3 or 4%. So I'm just going to zoom in right here, and I'm doing a very loose sketch of just the major details. So wherever you have large color shifts or details that call attention to themselves, those are what you want to draw. So I keep things pretty simple and almost sketchy feeling when I'm drawing this out. And you can see with the petals, it's just whenever there's a shift in color, that's where I draw those lines. It was getting a little tricky to see the petals, so I just increased the opacity of the reference photo just a little bit. So I'm just coming around all of the petals, doing that exact same method, just following the contours. Wherever I see a shift in color or a hard edge, that's where I'm putting a line. So a little bit of practice and you'll build up that muscle memory so you can start just drawing these freehand after a little bit of practice. So with the foliage, it's the exact same thing. I make sure I draw the main stem in. If I have overlapping or underlapping elements, I make sure that I'm staying true to the photo. It'll just give me a much more realistic outcome. For these almost carnation style flowers, they're kind of spiky, the petals. So I just follow those contours, and that's all you need to do. Really, really simple. So after I drew all of my florals and foliage in, I'm turning off the reference photo to just take a final look at things, see how everything developed after that. So now that I have a chance to look at it without the reference photo, I have to complete my composition because I just pulled a small section of that photograph. Now I need to anchor it somehow before we put in our lettering at the base. So I'm kind of planning out where my stems are going to go, and they're all going to meet together towards a base. And I'm also noticing that this little sprig that was shooting up on the top right was drawing too much attention to itself, so I decided to erase that. Now I'm going to draw in the remaining stems, and I'm just going to freehand these. I don't really need the reference photo for this because I know I want them to all kind of meet in a similar location at the bottom. And then I can fill in any gaps that are remaining with just some really basic leaves. So this is a really easy way to fill in any white space areas or any areas where it feels like something needs to go there. just draw a few leaves and you're good to go. Now I'm going to rename that layer Sketch. I'm going to duplicate the layer. That way we can darken it a little bit, but I don't need it too dark, so I'm just reducing the opacity slightly. Mine's at 67%, and then pinching those two layers together. That way my line art is a bit darker on screen. Now I'm going to center that right on my canvas, and if you have uniform and snapping turned on in the bottom palette, you'll see those crosshairs appear. Next, we're going to create a brand new layer underneath the sketch layer, and we're going to start painting in our foliage. So I'm going to grab my spot bleed brush. I'm going to keep that really dark navy blue color selected, and the size of my brush is right around 6%. And the way that I decided to paint this foliage is to do kind of a two-tone effect. So I have my dark navy and I've got this really pretty teal color. So I decided I wanted to add both of those colors to my foliage. That way it didn't seem like you were just getting hit by one dark color everywhere. So I add in sporadically just places of the dark navy, and now I'm bringing in some of that teal. And I can add both of them together in some locations and just smudge them. So if I grab the spot bleed brush as my smudge tool and I just stipple with it, you can see we can blend really nicely and it looks really realistic. It's a really cool effect and a really easy way to add watercolor blends to any of your digital artwork. So now I'm just finishing off any foliage that I didn't paint dark blue. I'm painting it that pretty teal color, and wherever they meet together, I'm going to start smudging them just to keep things even more unique. Okay, once you have your foliage all done, now it's time to start painting our floral elements. So I'm going to create a brand new layer right above my foliage layer. I'm going to start with the darkest pink color, and we're just going to paint some of the stamens of our really prominent flowers. And then we'll grab our next darkest color and just sporadically paint different areas, because all we have left now are florals. So I don't really have any rhyme or reason behind this. I just like adding a lot of varieties. So some I will paint a base that's darker and then paint some light splotches on top of it. My goal here is to just add a lot of varieties. So with all these different shades of pink, we're adding some depth and highlights throughout, but I like this really messy style of painting. That's my personal preference. So I'm really not thinking too hard about it. I just want to get a lot of variety in and also give myself some really nice opportunities to blend certain areas as well. So I'm just adding some darker pink along the bottom edges that I can blend in on the inside of these flowers as the petals meet the stamen. It's really up to you how much blending you would like to do and where you would like to add that blending. Feel free to customize it and make it your own. There's no really rules that you can't break in this method. It's meant to look messy. So now that we have our florals complete, I personally just like taking a look at it without the line art on it. So I like turning it on and off and seeing how that looks. It could be a really nice soft painterly effect. So you kind of get two pieces of artwork in one with this method. If you'd like to learn more about painting digital watercolor florals in Procreate, I have an entire 10-project course that takes you from beginner style basic floral doodles all the way to advanced floral arrangements, bouquets, wreaths, and we even throw in some pattern making too. I'll leave a link to that course on screen and in the video description. Next, I've decided to increase the opacity of my line art just a bit more. So I've duplicated my sketch layer and brought the duplicated layer's opacity down to 50%. Then I'm creating a brand new layer and I'm labeling it lettering. So we're going to add in whatever message you would like for this. My message is going to be happy birthday. So I'm grabbing my round liner brush. I'm going to turn on my drawing guide. That way my lettering stays straight. So just go to Canvas, toggle on drawing guide. My brush size is about 4 or 5%, and letter it out. You could also use typable text for this if you're not comfortable with hand lettering, and it'll still look great. I'm going to reduce the size slightly. I still have uniform and snapping turned on in my bottom palette, and I'm just center aligning that with my florals. I'm turning off the drawing guide now since I don't need it anymore, and now we're going to add in some finishing touches. So create a brand new layer up at the very top. This is going to be our splatter, our paint splatter. So I'm grabbing my navy blue again. I'm also grabbing the round splatter brush. The size of my brush is 5%, and I'm just going to put this in a few places. It's really easy to go overboard here, so just be aware of that. I'm only painting in the darkest blue and the darkest pink color because those show up the best here. Then I'm going to create a brand new layer and set the blend mode to multiply. This is going to be our paper texture, and you need to select black. So double tap where black is and you'll get true black, and then select the medium tooth paper texture. You'll want to zoom out on your canvas and make sure your brush size is brushes at max size, and then just paint until you fill the entire canvas. This is a pattern brush, so you want to make sure you get every area, and it will repeat this pattern of the watercolor paper texture, and it makes it look really realistic, like this was painted on actual watercolor paper. So the last thing I'm going to do is set my background color. So tap on background color, we're going to choose the lightest color in the palette, this really soft pink, and it just kind of warms the entire piece up by adding a color that's very similar to our florals. So I'm just zooming in here so we can take a look at all of the final details of the work that we did. And here you can see it without the line art on it. I just love this really soft, painterly look. And there's so many things you could use this for: backgrounds, corner elements. You really have so many options with this technique, and it's really quick to do. You just play, have fun, get messy. So that is a beginner-friendly way to create line art birthday florals with watercolor in Procreate. Once again, links to everything mentioned in this tutorial are right in the video description, including the watercolor illustration brush set, as well as the free color palette. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you next week.